So I will introduce myself.
It has started.
All right. I am Associate Professor Bangi Hassan Aforo, a co-lecturer taking Bio 122, that is General Biology 2 for 100 level students. Well, three of us will be taking the course, so I'll only concentrate on my area. That is those courses I will take. So let's start with the following protozoa. The protozoans include a great diversity of minute single cells organisms, and some are colonial forms. They exhibit more variation in form, physiology than any other single phylum. Protozoans are widely distributed, that is, they are ubiquitous, but are active only in aqueous environment surrounding. That is, they can only live or survive in the aquatic environment. Each individual is termed acellular as opposed to unicellular. Let's look at the general characteristics. Each individual is comparable with a single cell, usually measuring about 2 micrometers to 10 micrometers. They have well-defined organs delimited by unit membranes are present, including at least one nucleus, that is, the cell is eukaryotic. There is no cell wall external to the protoplast, and chlorophyll is absent except in some flagellate forms. Because flagellates, some of them are autotrophic, they synthesize their food. Nutrition is heterotrophic and typically holozoic, that is, organic materials are required from the environment and usually solid food is ingested. Let's look at the various classes of the protozoans. The first class is Rhizopoda. These organisms, mostly they are free-living and they have few parasitic forms. The body is not highly differentiated, and some of them attain a relatively large size, e.g. the amoeba protists. They have a single nucleus. They move by pseudopodia. They have no pellicle, and the shape is irregular, except an external skeleton present. The class Rhizopoda. The food captors are ingested by means of pseudopodia. Asexual reproduction is by binary fissions, and sexual reproduction is involving gametes in few species. An example of this class are amoeba, foraminifera. Let's look at the class Mastigophora. That is, they are also known as flagellata. These organisms, they are free-living and will have also the parasitic forms. The body of these organisms are not highly differentiated. They are all small size. They also have single nucleus. They move by means of one or more flagella, that is, by swimming. They have a definite shape and the pellicle is present. Their nutrition also varies, that is variable, and when we say is variable, they feed on different types of materials. Asexual reproduction only by longitudinal fission, binary fission. Example of these organisms, that is the class Mastogophora, include the Igluna, Parameciums, Trypanosoma. We also have a class Coelureta, and they are also known as Coelurophora. These Coelurophoras, all of them are free living. Their body is very highly differentiated. Some of them can attain large size. Two nuclei, that is, they have two nuclei. They have meganucleus and macronucleus, and they also move by cilia. The animals or the organisms, they have a definite shape and the pellicle is present. Their food are captured by means of cilia as they are moving. Asexual reproduction by these organisms is by transverse binary fissions. Asexual reproduction is by conjugation. An example of these organisms or example of this class are the Paramecium verticilla. We also have under this protozoa, protozoa, sporozoa. The class sporozoa or the organisms that belongs to this class, they are all parasites. Structurally, they are simple size but variable. They also have single nucleus. They have no special mode of locomotion. They have definite shape, and because of that, they have pellicle. They feed on soluble food, and the food is absorbed via the body surface. They reproduce asexually by multiple fissions, resulting in a great number of spores. Sexual reproduction also occurs. An example of these organisms are monocytes and plasmodium. This is one of the organisms, that is the amoeba, under the class. We also have Parameciums. This serves as a guide. You know how they look like and the structure associated with these organisms. This is Igluna. The structure is there. Take time to note some of these parts. We also have under animal kingdom Phalon porifera. These organisms are referred to as sponges. Although sponges can be considered multicellular animals, their body plan is unique. It is believed that their origin, that is, they probably evolved from the collar flagellates and is distinct from other multicellular animals. And therefore, all their body structure is similar in certain respect to coelentrates. Different names are applied to analogous parts, and sponges are not included in metazoa, that is, true multicellular animals. Their general characteristics include: 1. They are aquatic, and mostly they are found in the marine environment. They are also sessile, that is, permanently attached and non-mobile. They also exist in colonial forms. They are abundant, widespread, especially in the sea. They have sac-like body consisting of essentially two layers of cells surrounding gastric cavity, but considerable folding of body will usually eschew the basic sac-like form. The body wall is perforated by numerous intracellular cells through which the feeding current of water is taken into the gastric cavity. Water passes out of the gastric through cells. Differentiator occurs in different cells. That is, different cells are specialized for particular functions. No specific tissues or organs, no nervous systems. A sponge is very unresponsive. The gastric cavity is lined by flagellate collar cells known as carnocytes, and they are not found in any other multicellular animals. They are responsible for producing the water current for capturing food. The body is supported by a skeleton or spicules of silica or calciums, or calcium bicarbonate, or fibers of bony sponges. The simple algae are often present. Therefore, sponges are often colored. So the flagellates, the algae give them the color. They also reproduce asexually by varieties of means, which include budding, branching, fragmentations, and they also have a great power of regeneration. The asexual reproduction occurs. Individuals are hermaphrodite, that is, they have both male and female gametes. This is a diagram of a sponge, and then the B plate is illustrating or demonstrating the different cells that are present and their functions in the sponges. We have Fallon Coelenterata. This is another group of animals kingdom, and these Coelenterata are the simplest of metazoans. Although many types of cells are present, for example, we have muscular epithelial cells, sensory cells, glandular cells, nerve cells, digestive cells, and cell cells, and so forth. These are integrated to form tissues at a more primitive level than in other metazoans, that is, in the advanced metazone. These cells, they are organized to also form tissues in these lower metazoans. And no structures that can merit the names organ are present. They are all aquatic, that is their general characteristics. All of them, they are aquatic, and mostly they are marine, and sometimes, are often colonial. They are abundant and widespread in the sea. They have passive way of life. They are diploplastic animals, that is, the body is composed of only two layers of cells, the ectoderm and the endoderm. The body is basically radially symmetrical and sac-like. They have single internal cavity, that is gastrovascular cavity. You can also call it coelenteron or entron, with one opening to the exterior, that is the mouth. They have rings of mobile tentacles surrounding the mouth. They have nerve nets, but they don't have central nervous systems. They exhibit polymorphisms, that is, the fully developed adult individual of a single species can exist in various forms. The different types of individual can also be interpreted as variants of hybrid or medicinal form. They prey, they prey capture, they prey are captured by the means of nematocysts, that is the stinging capsules, and conveyed to the mouth by tentacles. Coelenterates feed only on living prey. Asexual reproduction occurs and is confined to the hybrids, and it occurs by budding and branching. They also have great power of regeneration. Sexual reproductions also occur. Coelenterates are usually dioecious, that is, the sexes are separate. This means that they have male individuals and female individuals. Typically, the gonads develop in medicine. Gametes are liberated into the sea, and fertilization is external. The fertilized eggs developed into a isolated larva, and the larva is known as planula larvae, which eventually developed into a new hybrid. No medusa are present in anthozoa or in freshwater hydrozoa. Here, the gonads are produced by polyps. Hydrozoa, that is the classes. Mostly they are marine, and we have few of them that inhabit freshwater. Typically, both hybrid and medusa forms occur in life cycle. They are both small and fragile. Medusa possess venom. They are usually colonial, that is, they exist in colony. Many secrete a carcinous skeleton, which is known as perisac. Gonads are found in the ectoderm. An example of hydrozoa, they are Obelia, Hydra, and Physalia. Anthozoa, they are all marine organisms. They have no medusa stage. They are complexly organized polyps with vertical partitions in enteron and gullet lined by ectoderm. That is, the gullet is lined by the ectoderm. They are solitary, and there are also colonial forms. The colonial forms secrete calcareous skeletons that bind them together. Gonads are found in the ectoderms. An example of the anthozoa are actinia. They are also referred to as sea animal. And we also have corals. Cyphozoa is also, they are also marine in nature. They have the hydro state is reduced in their life cycle. The medusa may reach very large size and they have extensive system of radial canal with 4 gastric pouches of central sacs, and they are relatively well developed. They have well-developed sense organs. They have no venom. They are also solitary. They have no skeleton. And the gonads are endoderm. They are found in the endoderm. An example of this group of animals is the Aurelia, that is the jellyfish. This is an example of a hybrid with the various parts names for your understanding. We also have the actinia with the various parts name for your understanding. We also have a fallen platyhelminthes in the animal kingdom. They have the following general characteristics. They are aquatic and there are free living forms and the parasitic forms. They are triploblastic animals. They are bilaterally symmetrical and their body is dorsolaterally flattened. The goat, when present, are usually branched and have one opening to the exterior. They have central nervous system. They have pale cerebral ganglia and two or more ventral solid non-ganglionic nerve cord. Nephridial system of phlegm cells linked by branching ducts which open to the exterior by pores. They have no blood systems. Almost all platyhelminths are hermaphrodites, although cross-fertilization usually takes place. That is, they are hermaphrodite, they possess both male and female gamete, but cross-fertilization occurs. The reproductive system is always complicated. Classes. We have the first class, Tibullaria. This group are free-living organisms. They are very common in freshwater ponds, ditches, and so on. They have no cortical. The epidermis is present, and the epidermis is ciliated. They are active, that is, they can move, they can glide over surfaces by ciliary actions. It cannot swim. Gods, if present, are usually much branched. The pharynx often irascible, and they are carnivorous. They actively seek food, that is small living prey, as well as dead bodies layer animals. They are leaf-like in shape. They have no sucker. The development is usually direct. That is, they don't have larval stage. An example of this organism is planaria. We have trematoda, and these are fasciella. These organisms, they are parasitic. Their life cycles involve a vertebrate and invertebrate host. That is, they have, in their life cycle, they have two hosts. The fluke is an internal parasite. They are found coiled up in the bile duct system of sheep, and they are responsible for the liver rot in the sheep. The cortical replaces the epidermis. The cortical is permeable and allows for gaseous exchange. Because they are parasites, they are internal parasites. So the cortical is used for the gaseous exchange. They have no cilia, but their pans are often present. They have limited power of locomotions, and they can loop alone, and they also have a number of suckers. Tremators, I mean, it's a continuation. They have branch gauze. They are leaf-like in body. They have two suckers. One is oral and the other one is ventral. They have complex larval stages, and the example is Fasciola hepatica, that is the liver plug of the sheep. We have another class, Cestoda, and these are also known as tapeworms. They are endoparasites in the alimentary canal. Their life cycle is usually involving two vertebrate hosts. They have thick cuticle, which replaces the epidermis. They don't have cilia or spines. They are very feeble, that is, very feeble movement. They hardly move. The sex organs of these organisms are reduced, and they have no guts because they are parasites and they are intestinal parasites. So they don't have guts. They obtain their food in the environment, that is in the intestines where they are found. We have the characteristics of tapeworms continue. The body usually is strobulated, that is, proglottids are present and growth continues throughout life. They have many suckers and hooks on the scolex, that is the head. They have a complex larval stage. An example of these organisms are Tenosolium, that is human pork tapeworm. This is planaria, a picture of planaria with the part labels for your understanding. We have another group of animals, and they belong to this phylum Nematoda. And the nematodas are referred to as roundworms. They have the following general characteristics. They occur in enormous numbers in a great variety of habitats. There are free living forms, and they are usually minute and occur in the soil, at the bottom of lakes, rivers, seas, and so on, and in all rotting materials you found this roundworm. The parasitic forms are usually larger, and they occur as internal parasites in practically all plants and animals. They are triploplastic, that is, they have three body layers. They have three body layers. They are not segmented as elements, but the body cavity is present due to the breakdown of parenchyma. They are they exhibit uniformly cylindrical, elongated body, tapering at the both ends. They are thick and slightly flexible. They also have top cortical. They don't have circular muscles in their body wall. There are four bands longitudinal muscles, no blood systems. The gut is unbranched with a mouth and anus. They have a subterranean pharynx, and they are macrophagus or flu feeders. The central nervous system is present, but the nervous systems are poorly developed or is poorly developed. They have no well-developed sense organs, no well-developed sense organs. They merely sensory cells around the mouth, and sometimes they are introverted bristles. The sexes are separate, that is, they are dioecious. And the gonals are tubular in shapes. The development of these organisms is direct. They shed their cortical 4 times during growth to the adult size. And the example of these organisms include Ascaris lubricoides. These are found in human intestines. We also have the filaria bacrotive, that is which is found in the lymphatic system of human beings and is responsible for the causes of what? Elephantiasis. This is another group of animals, and they are referred to as rotifera. That is the whale animalcules. These organisms are very common in freshwater environments. In fact, they are the most common freshwater metazoans. They are macroscopic in nature, about the same size as many protozoans. They are tropoblastic as elements and not segmented. Most of them are free living and few are parasitic. The shells are variable, ranging from worm-like forms to flower-like forms. Usually, they are divided into head, trunk, and temporary adhesive post-anal foot that contain semen glands. They have crown of cilia at the anterior end, which are concerned with locomotions, including swimming and creating full current. Their body is enclosed in a flexible cortical section to allow for telescoping during contractions of the body. The food provides anchorage during feeding. Their food consists of algae, bacteria, and protozoans. They also have alimentary canal with mouth and the anus. They have a grinding pharynx that bears teeth. They are simple, very simple teeth are also present. They have no blood system. They are macroscopic in size. And this precludes what is it? They are macroscopic in size. The body is composed of constant number of cells. The sexes of these organisms are separate. There are male individuals. The male individuals are small and they degenerate and they have short life. They produce only during sexual seasons. Pathogenesis occur for the remainder of the years. Female give rise to other females by means of unfertilized eggs. Both adults and sexually produced eggs are extremely resistant to desiccation. Those rectifiers can be found in situations which are only occasionally wet. An example of these organisms is Spirulina acrotonums. Another group of animal kingdom is the fallow annelida. And the annelida, they are segmented worms with short body. They are typically aquatic. They are also coelomates. The coelom forms the body cavity. They are clearly mechanically segmented. That is, they have the body is segmented. They have thin cortical, which is composed of collagen, but it's not waterproof. And the gaseous exchange takes place over the entire body surface. The chitin, that is the bracteates, are typically present, and they are composed of chitin. Central nervous system consists of solid ventral double ganglionated nerve cord and pale dorsal cerebral ganglia. The blood system is present and the blood system is closed. That is, blood is confined to blood vessels. They have a excretory system which is provided by segmentally arranged pale nephridia. They also possess long tentacles. They have segmented parapodia or external gills which may be present. This increases the respiratory surfaces of the organisms. Now, this is not a point. Classes. The first class is Polychaeta, and these organisms, they are also known as bristle worms. They are marine in nature. The number of external segments correspond with the inner septum. That is, the segments outside, they correspond with the inner septum. That is, the segments found inside. They have distinct head with appendages. The parapodia are usually present and bearing many chitins. The eyes are usually present, they have no suckers, and the sexes are separate. The gonna extend throughout the length of the body. That is, the whole length of the body, you find the gonads. They have no clitoris, and fertilization is external. They have a larval stage, and the larval stage is referred to as trochophore. Locomotion is bilateral undulations of the body, and example includes Nuris, Sabella, and Arenia, that is the long one. Another class belonging to this is Oligochaeta, that is the earthworm. That is how they are commonly known, earthworm. These are found in the damp environment and they are terrestrial. You also find them in the freshwater body. The external segments of this organism also correspond with the inner septum. They have a distinct head, they have no eyes, no parapodia, few small chitins are present. They have no sucker. The xylem is well developed. They are hermaphrodite, but cross-fertilization also takes place. And when we say an organism is hermaphrodite, we mean that they have both male and female gametes. But fertilization is by cross-fertilization. Gonads are confined to few genital segments. So it is not every segment that the gonads are found. They are only confined to the genital segment. The clitoris is present where the cocoons are produced, and the fertilizations take place in the cocoons. They have no larval stage, and the development is direct. Locomotion by waves of thinning and extension alternating with waves of expansion. That is, they first of all thin their body, they extend it, and then expand, and then they fall ahead. And example of this organism is Librochus, that is the earthworm. Another class is Hirudinate, and these are referred to as leeches. Leeches are freshwater organisms. They are also found in damp environment, that is in the damp terrestrial environment. We also find some of them in the marine aquatic system. They are ectoparasites. They have, their external segments are more numerous than the inner septa. They also have a distinct head. The eyes are present. They have no parapodia. They have no chichate. The two suckers, they have two suckers. One is anterior and one found in the posterior region. The xylem is occluded. The body is almost solid, very thick. They are hermaphrodites because fertilization also occurs. The gonads are also confined to few genital segments. The clitoris is also present in this class of organisms. Cocoons are present, cocoons are also produced, and clitoris may not be obvious. Fertilization takes place in the cocoon. They have no larval stage, and the development is direct. They swim by vertical undulations. Locomotion is by looping. An example of this organism is Hirudon, that is the leech.